We tried a bit earlier, but then came COVID. So this is why we are here now. And so our colleague Georg Mattes, the bureau chief, has been working here for about a year. And I think the time is absolutely perfect to come to Indonesia. Indonesia's role has risen in the international community. It's a huge market for media, and Indonesia has a high influence in every part of the Asian countries. So I think it's a brilliant time to come here.
I think it's a hugely important region. In fact, I've been here now for just about a year, and I think it's one of the most underreported regions that I have encountered as a journalist. I've been in Brussels for many years covering Europe, and I'm always surprised to learn when you talk to Europeans how little they know, not just about Indonesia, but about all of Southeast Asia.
Well, short term, I think it's start working here with the whole team. We have great young journalists from Indonesia working here together with our bureau chief from Germany, and this is the short-term plan to let them start, and they already did. And in the long-term perspective, I think is have a slowly and easy growth in reporting from this area, and also deepen our partnerships with local media, because this is very important for us, because we can air our TV channel and we can air our programs together with partners, and in the midterm plan also to co-produce with partners interesting programs which are good for the Indonesian market but also good for the global perspective.
Well, the idea is that the bureau, the Asia Pacific bureau we've opened here, not only brings more information from Indonesia itself, but also coordinates and also reports more from the larger region. And I think it's a region that has grown in importance economically. For instance, when you look at investment, Europe is now looking to diversify its investment with the upcoming rivalry between the US and China. We're looking in Europe, where else can you invest? So Vietnam, for instance, is a big case here, but also Indonesia is becoming more and more important. And then Indonesia has a lot of natural resources, and particularly when you look at the environment, Indonesia is hugely important. If you look at reforestation, in Indonesia, trees grow 10 times faster than in Germany. So just for that reason, it's a hugely important and interesting region.
I think the election in such a big country like Indonesia is a global event which is of huge interest. But I think we are not only doing politics. We're doing politics and news, but not only. I think we also do a lot of cultural programs. We do a lot of society, of lifestyle programs, even sports. So I think we can cover a lot. But obviously, yes, election year will be interesting and fascinating, I think, for every one of our users and viewers.
I think we have several advantages. That one USP obviously is a different way of storytelling, and that is what many people are looking for and many people enjoy in our reports. Then of course we have a different perspective. So we have the perspective from the heart of Europe, if you want, different values with which we look upon events across the world and also in Indonesia. And then thirdly, I think it also helps sometimes to look at things from a more foreign perspective, but being in the country. So I don't want to say that helicopter journalism has much advantages where you come in with a preconditioned set of ideas and try to make a story. But if you are here and you are not from the country itself, then that helps. And on the other hand, we have a lot of local staff who are working for us, and they can provide, of course, insights that the locals have. So I think it's a mix of the two that we really bring to the table.
That's a question where one could talk about 24 hours constantly. But seriously, I think the future of media is one where we all have to realize that free journalism and free information is endangered. either by propaganda, fake news, or by autocrats who are interfering into free press. And I think one of the main tasks for us at Deutsche Welle is also to bring information there where information is needed. Hopefully and obviously here in Indonesia, people get their information, but maybe they don't get as much information around Europe and Germany. So this is also one of our tasks. And I think it is vital that we all stand together who are interested in democracy, tolerance and freedom, that we always support free media, because this is one of the pillars of democracy and tolerance and everything what we need at the end, like freedom.
I think science and technology is enormously important for Indonesia. If you look now at just the example of batteries, where Indonesia is investing a lot, I think it's important that the country that is so rich in natural resources moves more towards the final product rather than exporting just the raw products. So also when it comes to a vaccine that you've now brought to the market, and we visited the vaccine production, we looked at a mosquito program where there are mosquitoes infected with bacteria to reduce the dengue fever. So I think that field has a lot of potential in Indonesia, and hence it's, in terms of reporting, a particularly interesting field. I think journalism, as in many parts of the world, and we just had our Moscow studio closed down, is under a lot of pressure. So journalism in the region is also in many cases under pressure. If you look at the Philippines, for instance, where you have many news outlets that are facing lawsuits, that are facing intimidation. And so I think it is an important signal also that countries are reaching out and improving the diversity of information. And also I would always think of it this way: we like to look at news as a dialogue. It's an opportunity to provide a different perspective on things that you then can discuss after seeing a report, after reading a blog, after reading an article. You're welcome. Thanks very much indeed.